show you guys a little bit of what's going on with the Vintage Cube stuff. All right. So we have the draft. Draft was about hour or so that we got to get into it for, because we got to do something fun where we got to do 20 card packs. So you guys will get to be able to see all of that stuff now. And let me know how the audio and everything is set up, because there is some of the audio from the recording that we'll be kind of experiencing going over. And I think, you know, in theory, everything should be lining up, and I don't think the camera is blocking too much of the screen, but this will at least get you guys to be able to see a little bit about what is in the cube itself here as we kind of go through, and you get a little bit of an idea. There is a video up on YouTube if you guys want to see what all the cards in the cube, but this is at least going to show you guys a bit about what is the power level. And again, we did 20 cards for it. I don't know if we should do 15 cards next time. I like just keep switching it up and changing it up and trying different things and seeing what is the options for players and what they want to do. I like the idea of doing 20 card packs, and then the first pack you get to pick 2 cards from. It helps give people a little bit more focus on what they want to be doing.
I'll pay you to draft it and bury it.
No.
I dare someone to draft land
Oh,
first.
Jesus Christ.
Man, we're off to good.
You could. You're good. I can't even read it.
So yeah, it gives them a little bit more focus, and so like you look through it and you go, okay, there's 20 cards to pick from. I got to pick 2. You know, easy first pick for me was the Soul Ring, because it's one of the best like ramp spells that is in the cube. You know, I was debating about going for a Signet, but it's like
My card has
I don't really want to go
There's
for
a signature on my
I'm taking
card.
good cards because I can't.
you know,
Yeah, probably.
a Signet for my second pick, and it's going to be a very powerful pick, so we go for kind of the reanimate. That at least helps us potentially lock in a strategy.
No, it's going back to your. You said, yeah, I pointed to your.
Sorry. Okay, then I made the right call.
Another minute.
We'll see. I think I wrote down all of our picks too,
No
so
one picks up the pack until the timer goes off and you pass, then pick up.
we can be able to think about it and talk about some of the picks that we were able to get during this. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video for anybody that is watching the VOD
It's early
on
enough that it can
YouTube,
change,
but
but
you
yeah,
know,
like,
to be able to watch it
Raph,
live
we have a delay of game.
when we
We have a
do
delay of
stream
game.
stuff over on twitch.tv/NanMans.
Everyone pick up the new stack?
But yeah, now we get to see a little bit more of a glimpse of other
Oh my god.
crazy
You only get
cards that
one
are in
from
there.
this
Now we're
pack.
back to picking 1 card at a
This is a
time.
nuts
No
pack.
longer picking 2 cards.
is this?
It's only for when you open a pack for the first time, because we're doing the 20 card thing. We are also setting it up that
Just pick
it's
one.
just like with a regular draft. You go past all of your packs to the left. So
How
we
much time do we
go,
have for
since
each
we got
pack?
reanimated, Zoom is another great one to be able to go for.
I just want to know. how
Yep,
long
thank
I
you
can-
for reminding me. I started the timer again. Yeah, this pack is nuts. There's so many good cards in here.
Yeah, pulling a couple other things aside of like,
Don't forget,
okay,
thanks,
which
with expensive stuff.
which
there's
one is
always
something
cheap,
worth
expensive
picking
stuff.
up, but we opted for the Exum
This one's.
there. More reanimation shenanigans.
Oh,
Yeah, so
God.
here's showing the 3 cards that I picked so far.
Pick your card, pass back.
No, you know what?
Shelldock Isle, Leviathan. There's some good ones in here. Like, you can start to see some of the options that are available depending on what colors you want to go for, what players decide to kind of lock in. Again, there's some good reanimation targets within this pack here. You know, the makeshift mannequin, if I really want to just shut people
It's
off
just-
from
I'd
trying
very
to
much consider it.
reanimate. And that's also the
I saw that,
exciting
I was like,
part
ah,
of the
like,
first pack in a draft. As you start passing it,
Well, the
you're
thing
giving
is, like, you
information
could
around
technically-
to the
there might be a
players
way
that
to
are
cheat
at
him
the
in.
table with you of saying, hey, the packs that are getting past you, you're noticing less and less black cards in because the person in front of you is clearly drafting black, right? You can see these lines and this information there. And so now I'm debating between these two, whether to go for another way to reanimate or go for a reanimate target here. We have kind of 2 ways to reanimate things, but not a target yet, so we're kind of in that back and forth thing, and I think we end up going for the Archon here, but we are debating a lot. Yeah, look at me, just really, really thinking hard on this one here. I like the, yeah, Archon is a solid
If this
grab
pack
there.
gets to Ruben, he's going to be very happy.
And if the card here gets to read it, then we're very happy.
And then just kind of looking back through the pack
It might
again,
as well be.
just to see and identify
This card
anything
is
else
your
that might be
baby,
in there,
bro.
and kind of go, okay,
I tried to warn you.
what might come back around. That's the other thing of doing 20 card packs is you're more likely to see stuff yield and come around, and the skills that you need to draft with a 20 card pack, it's a little bit softer compared to a 15 card pack where it's like, well, it's very unlikely that the things that you want are going to come back around. Where with 20 cards, you might be able to see. Also, we are not doing 8-man pods. I want to say there was
or like a wasteland in your graveyard.
11, 10, 12, somewhere in that 10 to 12 window of players that were there to draft the cube. So that also has a factor into it compared to just doing a 8-person 15 card packs type deal.
No, he took
So not really finding much of a reanimation target within this pack. There is some kind of wheel effects there. Echo of Aeons is one of it. So we kind of go for some removal. Removal's always good in cube whenever you're playing. Always good in limited draft environment. Having ways to remove creatures is important, especially if your opponent is playing a big bomb that you're just like, oh, I have no way to answer this. Well, that's where the removal comes in. So now we can kind of see where we're at with our solid kind of curve. So we're really locked in for black right now, at least for the first round of drafting things in the first couple of packs. This is kind of a good, easy way to think about it.
You probably shuffle everything and just deal out 10 points at a time.
How's our volume? Anybody know? Is everything good with the video sounds? I don't want to deafen anybody. All right, so solid openings here. A couple of the multicolored, very heavy multicolored in this pack, actually. So the Yawgmoth's Will's in there, Grizzlebrand, Ardent Plea. Wow, this is really heavy multicolored. Which, is perfectly fine. Grizzlebrand makes an easy pick for us and say this is the most powerful black card that's in there and a great reanimation target. But also it's like, okay, a lot of people were locking in, which is very smart. You see a pack that has a lot of multicolors. You want to pick the monocolored stuff first because it's going to be much easier for you to be able to go, okay, now that I have sent the signals that I'm not going for, these multicolored stuff right now, or I'm not going for green, I'm not going for red right now, then you can be able to hope that the colors that you want for multicolor come around. There is those few exceptions if there's a really powerful multicolored card there, right? Then you go, oh, this is really locking me in for a specific strategy, or this goes really well with the 3 cards that I picked before this pack. I know I can steal this. But you usually have a lot more flexibility of saying this card is more likely to come back around. I want to pick the monocolored stuff. And we see heavy lands up at the front.
Oh, I see what you wanted.
Another good reanimation target. Another good way to bring back stuff. Got some sacrifice effects.
Oh.
Yeah, this is kind of a middle-of-the-road pack for us. This kind of gives us the option of, all right, we can have another reanimation target, essentially. Loyal Retainers going to be our kind of swap, essentially, in here. Now we can maybe start going Orzhov. Like, the other option is maybe we can go for, like, a Wasteland here. Because there's powerful lands within the cube, so that is another kind of option. And then you get a bonus effect if it's exerted.
That was the easiest one yet. Yeah, right.
I don't think that's a
No, you don't.
No, I did not.
All right, Strip Mine, Consider, Spear. Take your time. Not a lot. Like, Consider is pretty decent because of the Surveil mechanic with it. And being able to dump things into our graveyard is nice. I know we just took the Loyal Retainers there, so it's like, but we're mainly black. That's our main color right now.
Oh, yes.
So, by picking up a few white cards, a few blue cards, we could go for, an Esper plan. We could just go blue and black, Dimir. We could just go Orzhov, white and black. We've got options, and it's better to keep yourself flexible and not just lock in. I mean, again, you could have gone for the Strip Mine there. Strip Mine is perfectly reasonable to say, well, I'm going to destroy my opponent's lands and reanimate things from my graveyard, and that's going to be my game plan. And that's a perfectly fine and reasonable way to kind of navigate things.
But if I've got like red and green out, for example, I can't say, okay, I'm adding 2 red and
No,
3
yeah, you
green.
gotta pick one color.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we're Joe.
All right.
We're almost back
I think
to
players are asking questions. So they're like, hey,
Oh my God, two
how
of
does
them
this
would've
work?
just died there.
What's going on with this?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have 2 more. I guess 2 more turns and we're back to our original packs.
All right, let's see some of the cards we drafted so far.
Wait, what?
Yeah, solid reanimation plans.
Well, there's because we're going with that table too.
4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9.
And again, because there's so many players around the table, like some of the signals that we're sending
Yeah, then we can
is,
speed it up.
you know, clear for the people right to our left, right? Because, you know, you pass the packs to the left first, then to the right, then to the left again. So we're sending these signals of saying, hey, I'm picking up black. You cannot,
Yay, pass your pack.
you can't use black.
Oh God.
No, I mean, I've seen all the cards.
But
You didn't see that
a
one.
couple players later down the table could be doing the same thing.
I got smokestack.
Oh, you okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this, yeah.
Makes you feel
Hey,
better.
is the
Punishes me
little
too.
circle with a diamond in it, does that mean
Yeah.
colorless?
True.
And not really that many good black targets here, but Faithless Looting is great.
For, well, minus.
I think I love
Gives
it.
us the ability to draw, gives us the ability to throw our reanimation targets into the graveyard, so it's kind of doing all the things we need.
It'll have -4 to its toughness.
Instantly dies. It's not like
Right.
the end of.
Nope, instantly. So if it's like if it's a like a 2/6 or something like that, and you go -4, so that's 2 toughness, and then if you do 2 damage to it, then it will die.
Right, that I know, but I didn't know if like it was they were two creatures.
Nope, instant.
There's no.
They can like respond to you casting it, but once it's resolved,
You're literally living my dream
It
right
just
now.
kills
There are
everything.
colors.
I didn't know if they
Punch
died.
the camera there for a second.
yeah.
But now this together
Yeah.
is
Readjusting.
disgusting.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, sorry.
We finally ahead of.
Yeah. Cut up. Sorry,
Is that yours? Is this cheating?
this is the one you just did.
True name Nemesis?
Yeah.
Are we just doing 1v1s?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. It's not really cheating.
Nice.
The other one? The other destroy.
Can I check this as
I don't
a
want. Oh, no, boy.
Yeah, that's what.
You don't know. I'm trying to be shocked if Nicholas was going the same colors.
What colors are you going, Devon?
Uh-huh.
What colors?
Yeah.
Yeah. What colors?
All right, this is another one of those packs that's
Is it
like
green? Green,
kind
blue?
of weird
Red, blue,
of
green?
like, all right, there's not
Green?
really that many good like black
Like, are we just
cards
trying to get my
available
clothes?
to us, but it's like, okay, there are some decent cards in here, and we've been kind of just picking up a bunch of different colored cards in the last couple of packs. So like you could see like, all right, we've locked in black, we're going for black. Then the last couple of packs have just been like loyal retainers, consider faithless looting, and Golos of like, we're kind of adjusting to the flow of the table right now and seeing what's coming around to us to how we can adapt and change our strategies there. Golos is solid, a colorless, it gets us the land. I mean,
What is this
it's
thing?
fine. It's not really where we want to be. We're not really going for a specific. Again, if we had been opting for the wasteland, the strip mine instead of the consider, instead of the loyal retainers, the Golos maybe gains a little bit more value of us being able to search up and find some of those, you know, land destruction effects there.
Add that for later, because I'll need it in the next starter.
Well, you get for your first pack. You get.
All right, I'm increasing the. I'm
you get like
adjusting the
4
time
minutes.
to 1:30 now.
All right, so you see the Thopter Foundry. There is the Thopter Foundry combo in there. Bolicido is very powerful. It works amazingly if you're going for a storm strategy. We kind of are in this position, like Citadel is a really good card, and I don't like to pass it. It doesn't really work for the deck that we're going for, and I keep bringing it back and being like, I really want this card. I don't want to pass this. But we go for the chart the course because with the way that our deck is shaping up of what we're trying to do, it kind of makes the most sense.
I'm not gonna use it. I don't care. It's just gonna sit there.
It has no. I will never be able to play it.
So maybe we're on a Grixis plan now. You know, if some lands come around, something helps us to kind of establish things here.
Choose to jump somebody and deal that damage.
Oh, wait, this is my pack. Oh, this is
Okay, someone took the other card I wanted.
What a bully! What a bully!
But if somebody attacks you, the planeswalker can jump in?
Yeah, another one that's like,
Planeswalker's fucked no matter what.
Yep.
So imagine
you
a little
know,
person on your
I'm
team.
eyeballing the Golgari stuff at the end of the pack. Looking at this again, Thousand Year Storm. We're not really going for the storm route here, but as a card goes, like
I've seen almost everything.
I don't know, the other these other signets and Golgari stuff. We're not picking up any green stuff, so we don't really care about that. Like you could make the argument for like the removal spell in there for white, like. It's an interesting one to kind of go back and forth on. That we go and we say, you know what? Because we have some blue, we've got some red. If we end up going heavier in that, or maybe some really powerful storm cards show up and we kind of pivot and shift gears.
Oh, this is still in here. Maybe I will take it.
Yeah, I moved Demir Signet up a little bit higher there. Again, we're not really going for green. You could make the argument for Languish based on the way that we're setting things up, but a decent little bit of mana fixing is nice, especially because we have a little bit more blue that we started to lean towards. So
When you say dumb,
solid. You can see now things are picking up a little bit. And look, the makeshift mannequin, if you guys are paying attention at the beginning, we ended up grabbing like Archon of Cruelty from this pack, and the makeshift mannequin made it all the way back around the table. So huge win for us, and kind of identifying that and sending those signals early on of, hey, these are the cards that we're focusing in. Reanimation strategy, these blacks cards to kind of help with that style there. There are still some really powerful stuff left in that pack that we have to pass around, but still, it's cool to be able to see that little payout there.
All right, pass your packs.
no one ever goes right.
I usually do.
Sorry, I'm speeding them up.
Cloud is still looking. You rushed him.
Good.
Who cares?
All right, so this one is one, like, we're not really going for red. This is kind of like the big end stuff. If you're playing red, you're playing green, you're really, like, feeling good about this kind of pack. We're not really playing those colors. We could make the argument for Tassiger, but it's like, if we open any of the power, right, if we open, like, a Time Walk or something like that, Clark the Thumbless seems really good for that.
Where's Fiber Jar? I didn't take
Hey,
Fiber Jar.
that's supposed to come back to me.
And then, like, 8 months later, I found the other card, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
All right, so we're getting close to the end of our first pack. Only a few picks left. And again, we started with 20 cards in each pack. We take 2 from the first pack, and then we kind of pass it around 10 to 12 players. I want to say that I had to like math it out. Let's see. 1, 2,
Wait, Sentinels win?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Did they?
Okay. So it's Sentinels versus.
We're good.
Alright, pass your packs.
I want to say we were at like 10 players, maybe. All right, Treasure Crude's always a great one too.
Yeah,
we're not really doing the like cantrippy stuff, so
Are we supposed to know by now?
the Night's Whisper feels better there.
I just play Magic, right?
Yeah, there's a lot more. Like,
All right, I'm feeling pretty good about the way things are shaping up now with Pack 1.
I should have gone red.
We have a lot of options available to us.
There is.
Menace needs 2 creatures to block.
I don't want to leave you or
Yeah, 2 or more.
Do you have to pay? Do you have to do the ward pay every turn?
If they want to target it with something, that's how ward works. Yeah. So like if they go, I need to kill that, they have to pay the ward cost in order to.
If I
actually
don't
target
die
it.
before
Otherwise
I
it
get
gets
my stuff
countered.
And you can still pay it and still stop what they're doing.
Yeah. So they can be like, all right, I'll counter whatever you're trying
And
to
then
do.
they're like, damn
I
it.
have to for like memories.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
That man's mustache is a little wild.
All right.
Yeah, so
if you're ready,
of course, a lot of players that aren't as familiar with some of the cards are asking specific questions, and we're doing our best to try to help them navigate it and guide them through the draft, because the whole point is to, have fun.
Yeah.
Draft powerful cards that
Right.
you might not normally get to play.
Hurry up.
Fire
There's
Islet
3
is a
cards.
nice little pickup for us
4
because
cards.
we are kind of leaning a little bit to the Grixis side of things, so having a little blue-red land helps us with that.
I'm feeling good now.
Still a lot of red going around. If you're noticing the way that these packs have been ending, everyone's sending the signal, we don't really care much about red right now. So we'll see if that stays that way or not. And yeah, again, there's another really powerful red card in here, but we grabbed the spear. It's fine. It's not really that good of a card. but you know, it's fine. All right, that means we're transitioning into pack 2.
Yeah, count. Make sure.
Pack
your
2.
packs are-
Yeah, make sure they have 20 cards. They should, but
Let's jump in it.
picking 2.
All right, so remember,
Picking
20
two?
cards.
Picking
We get to pick 2 from this pack here.
Nope, to the right, to the right.
We already kind of got a reanimation strategy, and not really much showing up yet for us here. Brain Freeze is solid. We did pick up that 1,000-year storm. Not that we're really on a storm route.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, there's some good stuff. I mean, you could make the argument for Shriek Maw to help with some removal. Oko's really good. Also, if we steal this Brainstorm, it kind of locks somebody else from having that available to them. Since we did pass the Bolus and Citadel and things like that, you know, Storm, whoever might be going for Storm, that would be a dangerous thing for them to have access to. But we could pivot into a Storm route with reanimation and just like do something like that if the cards show up. So it's like I always like within my colors that I'm going for, if I have the option to pivot potentially based on what I open, I'd rather keep myself flexible and open. So Brain Freeze and Liliana Last Hope. Liliana is like one of the best black cards that was in there other than Shriek Maul you can make the argument for, but you know, Planeswalkers that can reanimate and minus things, it's, you know, sometimes Planeswalkers just can get there by themselves in a cube.
I'm wondering how powerful some people's decks are, because I have seen 0 of it so far. You got it all? I didn't do that. Let's see what
I have an insane amount of ramp in this deck. Like I don't know what the hell happened, but I am like,
Yeah.
Also, we get 2 cards.
That's close.
yeah, you get 2 cards out of this.
Oh, okay. That's why you were looking at this over that.
Did you see the other one? That's. Don't worry about the big stuff.
Please
This
take
is an
that.
enchantment. That's very, very.
Oh, look at the next
Yeah.
16 of my
That's-
20 cards.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
If that was coming my way,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
When a creature attacks alone by itself, it gets plus
When
1/+1.
when you see this pack,
Yeah, someone's showing me their cards, and it's like, oh, you're opening all the power. Good to know.
But you look cool.
In the closet.
I couldn't. I wanted that card, but I was like,
Okay, Thief Sanity, Unmask, Troll Magic, Malira, the One Ring, Smuggler's Copter, Yawgmoth. Yeah, so like you can go through it again. We're now back to picking 1 card, so there's clearly 1 card that is the best card to pick in here. But we always, of course, just look through it and like start to
Remember, you
pull
only
the
get
cards
one
that we
from this
think are the
one.
best up to the front and be like, all right, these are our kind of what we're torn between. But everybody knows there's the One Ring. Why would we pick something else out of that pack? Right? I'm sure if you've played Modern or other formats, you know just how scary the One Ring is.
not that that would make it very far.
Everyone finish their pick?
2 seconds. All right, match your pack to the right.
Oh, this goes in here. I see.
Oh yeah, we have the timer going to help players just be like, all right, keep it moving, don't get stuck, just
Oh my God.
staring
What
at
is this
everything.
pack?
All right.
All
All right, so this is one of those packs that I look at and you're like, Buried Alive is really good here,
You haven't seen it yet?
but
No, because they're going to the
do
right.
we want to go for kind of the Grixis ideas that we've been thinking of and opt for like the thrill of possibility?
He would have
right?
picked it anyways. I think.
We were sending information, like Corpse Dance is also really good here. So it's like, all right, you know, we're in this. More ways to reanimate is good. More ways to throw things into the graveyard is good. We don't have as many targets though. If you've noticed the way that our stuff has been, you know, finding this is a really powerful reanimation pack. Like you see this and you're like, all right, I'm full of stuff. So our idea here is pick up Thrill. Hope that some of our stuff will come back around. Right, that's kind of the hope with that pack. Which might be wrong because now we're passing it in the opposite direction, so we might be sending different signals. And if we take Thrill here, which the information we got is red was not being picked up as much. But we got things like Brain Freeze and things like that, so getting a little cantripy thing that also helps us synergize with being able to get, you know, the kind of cantripy stuff for storm counts might be worth it if we pivot into that and things just open up that way. We're going to have to wait and see if things go that route. It's kind of a little bit of a, you could make the argument that it's probably better to continue to go for black stuff, but, we've only got one real target, or two, I guess. Archon of Cruelty and Grizzlebrand. So we have two decent targets, so. All right. I have all the Praetors in my cube. I love the Phyrexian in there. I've got the Force Phyrexian tattoo. So
I care.
Kind of makes sense why that would be. All of them are in here. Liliana, easy pick here. We already got the other Liliana in our pack 1, Last Hope. Now we're going to be picking up Liliana the Veil. It's an amazing card. You can force your opponent to sacrifice a creature. You can, if it stays around, you just keep stripping cards from their hand. And if you're making yourself discard, oh well, that's fine. We're going to be reanimating that stuff anyway.
No, that round is over, but
I had to pick up that art for the Ravages of War. Big fan of Planet of the Apes, and I was like, that's a nice little nod to Planet of the Apes. We'll pick that one up.
There's no way that we are this far ahead.
Yeah, yes, you are. It's literally.
So Deceiver Exarch is in this pack. There's also some really solid other cards to pick, but remember how I talked about, Brain Freeze. It's within our colors. If we get the right things to go that route, let's go that route. Deceiver is one of those things that we kind of already are on this Grixis route. If, for whatever reason, Kiki Jiki shows up or Splinter Twin shows up, what's it going to hurt to add this combo into my deck to give me a just kind of surprise win out of nowhere, right? We'll see if it shows up. That's my view when I see Splinter Twin in a cube. I'm focusing for that and trying to lean in and go for that sort of combo-y stuff.
I should have definitely picked that guy.
Trust that one bit.
It's okay.
Wasn't this in the first? I mean, count how many, I guess.
You know why that hurts me? Because A, I should have picked it up because you have the other card, not to keep you from it, just to protect myself.
Alright, so we see a Grape Shot in here. Winds of Abandon is in here as well.
That's a draw.
Yeah,
And then I saw it's
Couple of options available to us. Should we just get all the lilies and just go play lily.deck? But Brass's Tunnel Grinder is a new one we're adding in here because it's like you can discard stuff, draw new cards. Like, it gives you a little bit more flexibility. And again, if our goal is to kind of see as many cards as possible, that's not a bad one to kind of go for there.
No one's going green.
I mean, you could argue Grape Shot if we wanted to go for a Storm route and give us options for things.
I started picking up some
I think Brain Freeze is fine as enough of a card in there for that. And worst case, if we end up fighting against a Storm player that's going Tendrils or something like that, then, well, at least we have a Brain Freeze to fight them. I mean, we lose that fight because Tendrils deals damage and Brain Freeze just mills. It doesn't force them to draw. So, all right. Another reanimation spell here. Very solid. Solid lot of green in this pack, too. So, we're getting signals from our left now. Stuff's getting passed to the right? So the person directly on my left is saying, hey, I don't care about green. Right, so it could be some players further down the table are caring about green that this pack just hasn't gotten to them yet. But the stuff that we're seeing is going, wow, okay, the people aren't caring about green anymore. There was not a lot of red in that pack, so maybe our targets of Thrill the Possibility and Brass's Tunnel Grinder have been good targets because the people on the other side of us are grabbing red now. Right, so they were able to identify there was a lot of red left at the end of the pack, so now they're targeting that now and maybe pivoting and switching gears to that.
This doesn't really feel like a.
Basically, you got to get rid of one card.
Yeah, that's
Guaranteed.
Kind of
3 mana, get rid of one thing.
No,
Because they'll unless they're not paying attention, they vote for something different, and then
Yes.
you're like,
Then they get two. So if you're playing a competitive thing, you would pick something and not let and then you wouldn't say anything. And if someone else picks it, technically both go away because they're tied. So
I wasn't sure what happened when it tied.
Yeah.
All right, another quick glance of how this pack 2 has been going. Pretty solid. It's a little bit more wiggly than our first, very narrowed focus stuff, so we'll see how this kind of goes.
on top for you.
That pick. Ding.
Yeah, again, look, right away, a green card. Acidic Slime, very powerful one, too. Pride Mage, Flagstones, Sword, Feldar, Sigarda's Aid, and Night Reaper. A lot of heavy white in here. So green and white is like, players are like, I want very specific white cards. Some of these white cards we don't really care about as much. I'm a big fan of the Feldar, or Feldin of the third path here. It goes well with us being able to do stuff. You notice there was a ritual in this pack, though. I think because just having additional reanimation redundancies, you know, that's always solid. The other one is the ritual. Like, those are the two that I'm immediately identifying. But us passing the ritual is kind of maybe just kind of saying, all right, we're not committing to the storm here. We've said we're not doing that pivot. We're fine with, especially because necromancy and things like that started to come around. Like, we're like, yeah, okay, this is where we're gonna go for.
Who gets there first?
All right. Triome is in here. There's some lands and stuff, the Manamorphose and things like that, but the Triome, a little bit of mana fixing goes a long way in a cube, so we're going to go for that.
Or do you want a cat butt?
Still a lot of solid cards in this pack.
No.
Anyone face down trade their entire draw hand?
All right, so some sacrificing effects here. So there's 2 sacrifice effects in this pack. Liliana's Triumph, we got a bunch of lilies, so that could be beneficial, forcing them to sacrifice and discard, but we have Sheldred's Edict in there. So the Dark Petition is also a good one, but we go with the Sheldred's Edict because there might be times where we need to answer Planeswalkers and are unable to, where that gives us more flexibility for that. Sheldred's Edict, of course, you know, you can choose, hey, we're sacrificing a token, you're sacrificing a creature, or you're sacrificing a Planeswalker. So that flexibility, I love when it comes to cubes.
If I put it here, it's just because I'm done with it. I don't need to look at it.
War you.
All right, so this pack coming back around. This is one of our earlier packs that we got to see. Shrink Mall's in there. I pull the Nurturing Peedland up over it at the moment just because of the, again, mana fixing. Maybe we might need something for green. I don't know. But also the draw. I like the draw effects on these lands. Sack it, draw a card. Like, I don't know. It's, you might go, no, Shriek Mall's the better pick there. And I could see that argument and why you might pick Shriek Mall there.
Well, you have no land, but I get at least 1 land, so I'm still ahead in that land destruction race.
You just say ding.
You can't deal with that card.
Yeah, this pack is not for us. Like, there's nothing in here we want. Like, again, green is very open based on what we're seeing. Control Magic is fine. This is not for us. This pack is just for somebody else. We'll grab the blue card that's in there and send it on its way.
From like when we used to play for fun and not for.
That's true. I still play for fun.
I thought this was for fun.
This isn't it?
Like 10 years ago, we just played kitchen table and it was fun. And this happened.
This is, what are you talking about? This is it. The fun.
This happened. And
Playing
this happened.
playing a game is that's a chore.
No, not yet.
All right, now this pack is a nice one to come around because, again, this has a lot of reanimation targets and things that we care about. Not necessarily targets, but ways to reanimate. Putrid Imp is solid because you get to start discarding cards. Living End is nice, but a little bit dangerous. Angel up at the top is decent as well for having another target to reanimate. Corpse Stamps, though, is just, you know, more ways to kind of reanimate. Now, Living End, we're not really going for.
I was trying to find anything good to pick in it.
We'd really have to do the suspend for that, and that's not as good as something like the Corpse Stamp. So we'll pick up the Corpse Stamps here. Angel Serenity was the other one. It's like, yeah, I can see why that would be a good target, and so I'm debating about it, but we end up going for the corpse there.
He went white, right?
But you don't look at it.
Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're waiting. I'm waiting on Zach.
All right. Lingering Souls is cool, but not in the pack we're going. Yeah, like, again, we're seeing, like, all the blue is gone. All the black is gone around us. So Silent Clearing is our pick. It gives us access to black. It has that sacrifice effect. Again, if like I was going a different deck, this is a solid set of cards that I would be happy to see, but it's not our colors, not the stuff we want. So passing it back along, give it to somebody else.
When it hit me, I had to get
Me?
something
I
out.
know. It feels like no one else is though. White.
You see we're kind of in that end round. All right, let's go. Let's cycle through it. Let's see what we got.
Is this for me to look at now or not?
Ding!
I do remember looking at that one and being like, fuck.
We're in the last couple. Like this should be quick and easy for everyone to
Oh, I think
pick
you
cards
were-
and go.
I was kind of hoping someone would take this side, didn't have to, because I want to take it, but I know it's not as good as I think. It's-
All right, so Library of Alexandria is in this pack, and it's very good. Activate this ability only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. You get to do that kind of effect, and a lot of reanimation decks like that a lot. But we're kind of in this weird Grixis stuff now, so we go specifically and take the volcanic island here. We've got Brain Freeze. We're not really on a storm route, but maybe we take the Empty the Warrens and get some use out of it in a sideboard situation. Unlikely, but out of those, we don't really care.
Just pass the packs now at this point. You have the last couple.
All right, removal with Beast was in is fine, but like Yawgmoth's Bargain might just kind of be like, hey, we'll take it. We might not actually play it with the deck that we're building up here. It doesn't really fit with what we got, but it's. Send the information again. Hey, we don't care about white or green. You start to see like quite a few of the equipment cards within white that we're cycling around that we kept passing around there. So we'll see if anybody was able to draft up a solid equipment deck.
Jump on that little cliff to make it, or stomp on that little cliff to make it fall into the water. How tempted would you be?
Very, very tempted.
All right, we got one card left coming around pretty much for us here. What are we going with? Yeah, all right, that's fine. We'll take that. Oh, we just beat up on that camera again. And Abrupt Decay is the last card we get from the pack. So that means we're on to pack 3. Again, starting out with 20 cards. 2-card pick here.
I put them together, so.
All right, open your last pack.
Put 20 cards
Count,
in
don't
the
start timing it. It'll make count it.
Yep, count that. There's 20 in there.
15 cards.
You start out so strong.
No, they were made for 20 cards.
Why? They worked out great.
It's hard to get them out.
User error.
That is not untrue.
He's not entirely
All right, I'm starting the timer. Look at your pack.
Well,
Oh my god. 2, right?
All
Two from
right,
it.
so pack 3, final pack.
done like the
Let's see what goodies are in store. A Lore Seeker makes things weird. Other solid stuff in here. Fabled Mirror Breaker.
You go to the left.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a Lore Seeker. So we're gonna add an extra booster into the draft.
Yeah?
I'll take one for the team for this pack.
But it adds right where you are. So I'm gonna get it at the worst
Last,
possible
yeah.
time.
What do you mean you get?
With everything else I've got.
It's passing to the left this time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When it says sacrifice.
All right, so Fable's nice. We know that is going with the Lore Seeker. So the way Lore Seeker works, if you're not familiar with it, we're revealing it, showing everybody, hey, I got a Lore Seeker. We got to add a new pack. So essentially, instead of there being like the 10 or 11 packs that were in that draft for the final one, we add one additional one. Now, I get first dibs on it. Only going to be grabbing one card, I think, from it, but still gives us the information. Hey, here's a new pack that is now in rotation. Based on the seeding, if you're to my left, you're not as happy, or if you're to my right, you're not as happy as if you're to my left, because we go left, right, left with the packs. This is the 3rd pack, so here is the person, or here's the pack, the new pack getting added in off of Lore Seeker.
I'll pick that.
What
Can you show Ruben that?
when do you?
That's the theme of my deck.
So basically, you pass
Metal Worker's cool. Talent Confluence. All Ritual. Yeah, some solid cards within here. Oh! Did you see that? Yeah, yeah. We got it. We got it. So I didn't even finish looking at the and the Pessermite is also in here. So we got a Deceiver earlier. There's also Wheel of Fortune right there. But yeah, you don't. Oh, that's crazy that both of those were in there. I guess the way that pack worked, and I didn't pick out the pack. You know, I said somebody grab me a pack, hand this over to me, and we'll open it from there. So yeah, that's my pack 3.5. So we now have the combo of Splinter Twin available for us with the Deceiver. Next pack coming around here.
You saw what I saw.
What is this? Oh, what is that? Oh, that was on the
Yeah, so I keep eyeballing some other targets, like looking at the reanimation stuff. You know, there's a lot of different options here. I feel like we have a solid amount of reanimation effects. So now it's kind of going through the pack and saying, okay, if we don't take one of those, what else do we take here?
So for me,
Like,
it's
it's not,
really
like there's another like there's this in here too, but it's like
Yeah, it does not.
this card.
Doesn't matter. It's just a land that gives you a lot of mana. I think, you can have a token deck.
I don't know, to be honest.
We're gonna pump me out tokens. You get much.
I can't remember if I have a token deck or not.
Well, I'm with Patrick. I don't know what I'm doing.
Somewhere along the line, I forgot what I was doing.
Yeah, same.
And I'm just looking at colors.
Sort of,
Yeah,
but not
same.
really. Yeah.
Alright, I narrowed it down to 3.
It's already too late. It's already too late. The build is finished.
Build is definitely.
I've got 0 power. Like you got very lucky. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know either.
Oh, that's white. Oh, I'm blind.
I don't know either. Man. Keep saying
This is a hard
after me,
pack.
I'm
This
like,
is a hard one to pick from, as you can see. I keep eyeballing Pyroclasm there. You can see I keep coming back to it. I keep going back to the front, keep going back to the back. Like I'm really at a loss for this one.
It's the entire theme of the deck. Yeah, I don't want to play.
Hey, pass your stuff.
Think about that.
Like he could play somebody else.
Yeah.
Anybody else.
Alright, this is the extra pack.
All right, so we go with the bonfire. So deciding on that one was like one of those, I'm not sure. Maybe we just went off a bonfire off the top, right? Add that in there as other options.
What?
You didn't think that?
Playing band cards now?
The other two that I had. Oh, and that one? Oh.
Yeah, I've not seen an L drop.
I've seen a couple, so that means that
They're not
probably the
yeah,
green players
the other
picked them up.
Gets it in.
Yeah, it's back.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't move.
I'll.
What the fuck? That was white. That was black.
Do you not have a pack right now?
No, I'm slow.
No, I'm still on it too. I just didn't know.
All right, so some solid picks again. Now, let's just kind of continue along this route of what to go for. So, yeah, I almost take Entomb here, but I'm like, Gifts Ungiven just is,
Feel like
it's better. All right, I could just be like, all right, here's, you know, a split of 2. Like I could pick all 4 reanimation spells and be like, I'm guaranteed gonna get 2 of these.
2 cards
But
in this pack and put this back in there, but it must not have gotten open this time.
That's a pretty good
Oh, hell yeah. That's cool. I like that. That's fun.
Solid pack. Zealous Conscriptions and Kiki Jiki can combo together, but us getting the Kiki Jiki here gives us redundancy to the Splinter Twin combo that we've already picked up here in the last the last hour, the last little bit of the pack there. So, you know, if you were still with us and watching us at this point, you know that this was kind of a Hail Mary pivot at the end here. And now we're just getting all these, like, we've basically narrowed it down. We had a reanimation package at the beginning that we just can kind of add into a Kikijiki deck now. And all these tools are starting to come together for it. Like, we've got the Splinter Twin, we've got Deceiver, we've got Kikijiki, we've got Imperial Recruiter. We've got these tools that are just going to help us to get everything that we need here.
God, I want to go this far.
Misty's solid, helps us find some of our lands. I think we picked up a tropical or volcanic island. We got a volcanic island earlier, so.
Willy Wonka.
No, I don't have anything. All right. Oh my God, Gilded Goose.
Boar's good. Again, we talked about this earlier, how important removal is. You see me kind of move the Flame Slash higher up. I love Gonti. I'm always leaning towards playing him and utilizing him, but you know, removal's good. Go with the Flame Slash here, especially since we're now getting heavier into the red because we need at least 3 red pips to be able to cast Kikijiki. So it's like, are we just a, you know, Rakdos deck with a splash of blue? Is that what we've turned into?
I was worried. I'm
Based on what you have there, like.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it was? I think it was that or this. Because I wanted that.
Yeah, but I still think like this wins you the game.
Does it? What did I lose? Oh, I read that wrong.
All right, Fury, great. Again, we're kind of heavier in the red. There was a player that was starting to pick up Storm Piece, and I was like, why didn't you take this? This is your Storm payout. Tendrils is like the go-to way, and part of that is because they used to be a modern Storm player back in the day, and so they knew of the Grape Shot and those lines and things like that, and they just, you know, like, completely missed that side of things. Expansion and explosion here, you know, the copy effect is nice. It gives us some options. Thirst for Knowledge, allowing us to draw cards. You know, Bolt is here. Those are the 3 that we're leaning towards because we're kind of in this route here. Also, like, all the black's gone, which is kind of okay that we've pivoted into this, like, Kikijiki side of things, so.
Hey, Hom.
Can that chain infinitely?
Yes.
Yeah. So like if you have like if you have Professor Onyx, you win with that.
Really?
Because Professor Onyx would be cast or copy a spell, it deals 2 damage to your opponent. So if you have that with that, you just win.
Yeah. Whatever Casco gives us. Well.
Oh, it came back around. Look at that. So that's that. That was our bonus pack. And I think I just started telling them about it. Hey, thank you.
I was wondering if
All right, anybody need
Did you do it?
standing up?
Oh, you did.
This last pack it's shown up.
Nana, do you need a drink refill?
Sure. Mine's almost empty.
I don't have a pack yet.
Nick, do you need a drink refill? Chris?
You got 20 seconds.
I'll take one of the Arizonas, please. Thank you.
Wait, I gave you a pack. Oh, you already gave a pack of that. Yes. Okay.
We're building EDH decks, right?
What does that mean?
Make it commander. There's a card that I didn't put in here. Here, I'll show you. I keep debating about whether I want to put it in.
Exiling your own library is cute. Not a fan.
All right. You know, this one's not really a good pack.
Wish and Scry. Whenever he had it, I don't even remember which one Wish was, but he.
Oh, there's 2 packs. Genie?
So much more because it's
Oh,
probably
somebody
close
loves
back.
me.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I hope so.
What did we get from there? I wasn't even paying attention.
We got that on. Wait a minute.
Koth, maybe?
Because it went like 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, the goose? Wait, is loose? Why am I seeing the goose?
There's 2 packs here, Zach, just so you know.
Because we're moving fast.
I guess so.
Okay, so we could go for the land here, but, like, because we're in this, like, Grixis, our Crocs,
Yeah, the
you
bonus
know,
one.
Titan is very powerful. You know, being able to force our opponent to discard stuff, could also burn them with it. Like, seems pretty good.
Give me two.
Ah, nice, perfect. That's so good. Oh, good. That's great. Oh, that's gonna make your day.
Destiny.
Zealous Conscriptions. Again, we talked about how this can combo with Kiki Jiki. You could just keep doing that.
And she hasn't had a rabies shot.
Please tell me for the sort of unique.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Because around twice, and I was like,
I don't need
All right, Direfleet Daredevil is the next one that we're going to grab
No,
here.
you're supposed to have extra. Remember, because of the extra.
Steal some instants and sorceries. You can be able to cast them. It's just a solid card. Like, we're not going for the land destruction, so we don't really care about that.
I think that's it. Oh, all of them have gone.
yeah, you're good.
As cards go, like, you know, Shadow Skull Smash is good, but we go with the Flame Tongue here because it's a creature. In worst case, we put a Splinter Twin on it, and we just keep making more copies of Flame Tongue Kabu, and just keep blowing up and preventing our opponent from having creatures. That seems fine, right?
They just all came to me from my list.
Well, there was a bit of a back.
5, 6.
But it shouldn't be.
They should be staggered numbers.
Yeah.
You just have storm. So once it gets
That's why you don't get rid of the alarm.
Just roll with it.
How are you handing me 3 packs that are 2 cards in a row?
Wow, because there was an extra pack that had less cards in it.
That doesn't mean that 3 of them should be 2 cards in a row.
And the one that was extra came in later, so it should have more cards.
Hey, I picked my 1 card out of each of those packs.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell
Sure.
you. Don't know what to tell you, bro. User error on your part.
Yeah, right. They came to me that way, so it's my problem.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, all the packs.
Last little bit there. We'll take it.
Everybody
We'll take
should have
it.
all their cards. So start sorting them, build your decks.
Oh, I thought we were just drafting. Yeah, we're doing it again, right?
Yeah, actually, everybody
Yeah,
shuffle deck
yeah,
in.
shuffle and
Let's
No, I'm
go
not giving this
again.
back up. Hell no.
Right, huge set of cards there. So there you go. That's kind of our little transition, letting you guys know that we got through all of our draft adventures there. Hope you guys enjoyed being able to see all that fun action. We're going to be having some gameplay footage for you guys to be able to watch as well now, so you guys can check out those videos. We've got 3 from the draft experience of players being able to draft up some cool stuff. But let's jump into some of the fun with gameplay.